I can already tell dramatically that the transmission shift points have changed, and that was my main goal for getting this tune. Ever since I was about 24 years old, I've always been captivated by my first brand new pickup truck purchase, which was a Toyota Tacoma. I'm actually on my third Tacoma now, and they're the perfect truck for someone who does not need a truck. And if you want to, you can get a little crazy with add-ons. This is my second Tacoma, which was a 2006 second gen that I sold with 290,000 miles on it for $7 grand. Here's my third gen that I picked up. It was a used 2018 4x4 TRD, and yes, it has the gear hunting issue that everybody experiences with a third gen. Okay, so naturally I get on the internet, go to Google, and I'm looking at all the different tunes. Originally, Orange Virus was the first tune that came up, and I started looking at that, and then I found there's a bunch of other people that have spun off from them. KD Max, Yoda Works, OTT Tune, and then the list goes on and on and on. So what I do is I go on YouTube and I found Chloe Koo, and she's got a third gen that she decided to get tuned because she was experiencing the same issues that I had, and she recommended the Overland Taylor tuning, which is OTT. She does a really good job talking about the process, and her video is phenomenal. So I jump over to OTT's website and I start doing my research. I look and see what kind of stuff they perform. They do all types of Tacomas, Land Cruisers, Lexuses, so that tells me they're pretty well versed. And man, they even have opportunities for different gears, so later on if I were going to change out the axle gears. Truth be told, dyno, what's this? Okay, alright, this is a really good, it's a long read, but they compare all of their tunes to KD Max, Orange Virus, Yoda Works, and I believe there's 3 other ones. And when you get to the very end, there's a dyno data comparison, and it has the OTT, Yoda Works, KD Max, and I believe Toyota stock tune. And if you follow that blue line, OTT shows that it outperforms every other tune, which I thought was interesting. Now, yes, this could be their own research, it could be biased, but you know, I didn't see anything else from the other guys. Okay, who can I find in Florida that does this? So I go to other locations. I live in North Florida, near Jacksonville. I click on this. RC Tuning Florida, LLC. So I check out his webpage. He's got a really organized way of explaining information here, all the way from how the tuning process works, all the way to pricing, and oh, here's his Facebook page. Let's check that out. Okay, I like it. Great graphics, and holy crap, this guy's done a lot of Toyotas. That's awesome. Mormon Fuzzy. So I reached out to him via Facebook Messenger, and the guy was super fast to respond. He went over what the whole process would entail, how much the cost would be, $450 by the way, comparable to all the other tunes, and actually cheaper than I thought it would be versus the other tunes, that no matter what, if there were changes in the updates, he would do it for free. If I got gear changes in the axle, he would do that for free. Plus, if I got the Magnuson supercharger, man, he would update that as well. All I got to do is reach out to him. So I thought, man, this is a pretty good service. Plus, his Facebook page has got a ton of great reviews. So I was like, okay, so far so good. The one thing that I thought was real interesting, you can choose what you want to have for your throttle response. So if you just for your normal driving, when you put the truck in drive, there are light throttle response, medium throttle response, spicy throttle response, spicy plus throttle response, and I believe there was racing. And I was like, it's a Tacoma. Holy shit. Okay, ultimately I went with the OTT tune with RC Tuning Florida. So the guy was real responsive, $450, lifetime membership with him to get updates on the tunes. To be fair, everybody else I reached out to was great. Orange Virus, quick responses on the emails. I even thought about buying a VF tuner and downloading a Orange Virus tune package. I would have been significantly more money, $400 for the VF tuner, plus another $400 for just the tune. But then I've got to figure out if I'm doing it correctly on my own. And then the other thing was I needed to download and figure out how to get the ECU updated, since I've never done that before. Just one more added thing I have to figure out. I went with the ease of meeting up with Ralphie from RC Tune, and he took care of everything. KD Max, Yoda Works, I'm sure all those other tunes are phenomenal. I just decided to go with what I got the warm and fuzzy with. getting an OTT tune in the morning at 7 a.m. So I'm gonna go over the installation with RC Tuning, and I'm gonna do a review on it, talking about the whole process, document as much as I can so you guys can see what I did to see if it's going to work for you. Let's get into it. So Ralphie's super popular. He only had the 7:30 in the morning slot, so I grabbed it.
Wow, is that frost? That's legit frost in Florida.
All right, it's 6:21 in the morning, and I'm on my way to meet Raphael to get the Tacoma tuned. The Weather Channel apps, it says it's 38 degrees, but it feels like 35. So I get on my way to meet Ralphie at a rest area down by where I live. That's where you organized all these appointments to show up, which at first I was a little hesitant about, but then I started looking more into it, and this is pretty common. So I get off at the rest area, and there's an amazing TRD Pro. I knew that this is where I was supposed to be. Yeah, man.
RC, Ralphie, whatever you want to call
Ralphie.
RC Tuning.
Hey, thanks for meeting me so early in the morning, man. I really appreciate it. And this guy knows what he's doing. I mean, he has got it all set up. He's got the Magnuson, and his TRD Pro is phenomenal. Oh, real quick question, man. I looked on it. Everybody is like saying, like, you know, what should you get for the tune? You got mild, spicy, race, everything for the throttle response.
Yeah, all our tunes are the same in the sense of what you're going to get power-wise, the whole TT shift logic. The main difference is going to be aggression. You're going to notice it just in the overall power delivery and pedal sensitivity.
Gotcha.
And besides that, it's personal preference.
Gotcha.
You know, and I try to explain the differences between them all, but if by chance you spend some time with it and you find that you want an adjustment, just shoot me a message and I'll step you up or down as needed.
Awesome, sweet. So I'm not really a race car driver. What would you recommend for me?
I would say the most popular aggression would be a mild. That's my personal favorite.
A mild?
Yeah, a mild. It's just a good conservative, good day-to-day, jump in and go. And I personally like to do the ECT power button on like a spicy. So, I mean, you hit the button, you got the power there whenever you want it. It's a nice step up. And if you don't want to use it, you just don't use it.
Awesome, man. Well, let's do that.
Let's rock and roll.
All right, brother. So Ralphie reaches in his bag of tricks, grabs his jackery, attaches it to my battery so that the ECU will have constant voltage. This part of the process is extremely important to make sure that it's tuned correctly. Warranty issues with a tune.
Yeah, so I mean, I always say after I'm done with the tune, it'll ID like a stock truck. If you go into the dealer day to day, for the most part, they can't tell. The ID's the same. I always tell people that I've done a lot of trucks. I've never heard of an issue with warranty in a tune, and I challenge anyone to find one. You know, for example, you saw my truck. I did warranty work. I just had brand new headlights put on. They have every reason in the world to deny me, and they don't.
Awesome. Awesome.
But granted, if somebody were to dig, they could tell you're tuned, but there's laws protecting you against.
I'm almost at 80,000 miles. I don't even care about my warranty, so I'm super happy to get this regardless. But for the people getting new tacos or slightly newer,
I've tuned them. I've tuned them as people are literally sitting in the office signing paperwork, and I'm showing up to tune their truck.
That is awesome.
I've had numerous people who buy the truck and they literally drive it.
That's awesome.
And what I find is a lot of people, with all the antics and the BS going on with the dealers, a lot of people, once they're done with the free services, they never go back.
Gotcha.
They'll go to independent or do it themselves.
Gotcha. Awesome. Cool, man. Thank you. So one thing I forgot to ask him, the most important part, if you own a taco, especially a third gen, the freaking transmission hunting issues. Are you gonna fix me up, sir?
You're gonna get OTT's complete shift logic, and I think you'll be very surprised by no more of the random confused bucking Bronco searching for gears. And
awesome. Dude, thank you so much, man. I'm excited for that one. Woohoo! I was actually surprised how fast the process went. We were talking Toyota Tacomas for more than what it took for the process of the tune. Time actually flew by hanging out, and before I knew it, my taco was ready to go.
I've got two 03s. I've got one in Puerto Rico with 13,000 miles. So I bought it, and then as soon as I bought it, I got shipped off in the military. So it's been.
Thank you for your service, man. Thank you.
I've got another 03. I've got an 05, the V8 4Runner. I've got a 21 4Runner Pro. I've got this Tacoma here. I just picked up a GX 460.
Oh wow.
I had to have the last of the V8. Yeah, I'm a diehard Toyota. They've never.
They're just easy to work with, man. It's easy to maintain, and they're bulletproof.
Yeah, I mean they've never failed me. They always start up, and as long as they treat me well, you know.
How do you feel about Tundras? Be honest.
Oh, the Tundras. I mean, I don't need a big truck, but I will say the 5.7, especially supercharged, they're animals. If you go on my profile, I just did a Sequoia, and that thing it looked like a bloated whale, but man, that thing's an animal.
Magnuson, right?
Yeah, that one was a Magnuson. I've done hair ups as well. They're just, I mean, literally super
awesome, man. Cool. So if I get a tune and I move, how does that work?
So we have a network throughout the United States. We all work together. We all know each other very well. As long as the original owner of the tune, which would be you, that would follow you. So if you were to move, or say you go on a cross-country trek and you get re-geared somewhere, I'll send this over to my coworker, let him know, and then we'll take care of you. We'll update your tune free of charge. You'll notice with OTT, we don't like releasing versions every 6 months and upcharging people, because that's usually the intent here.
Gotcha. Awesome.
You send me a message anytime. If you're even bored and want to try a different tune, just let me know. And
That's so awesome. Thanks, man. She's all tuned, now ready to test it. What do I got to do with this thing right here? If I have that, what do I need to do with it now?
You probably throw it in the garbage.
Thanks, man. Awesome, brother. Thank you so much. So I was finished and another Tacoma showed up, the guy that was following me for the next appointment. What's your name again?
Clint.
Clint, nice to meet you. RC Ralphie, man. Thank you so much, brother. Well, anyway, here with a bunch of dudes, getting our tacos tuned. We're Ralphie RC Tuning. Clint, thank you so much. Army vet, Marine, hoorah, right? Is that what you guys do?
Yeah.
But between the two Army guys right here. Hey, man, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you, brother. One thing I did not expect at all was to meet two other veterans, hang out, we've never met each other before, and have a great time talking about Toyota Tacomas. Just guys hanging out with a common bond when it came from the military all the way to what we do with our cars and trucks. It was really, really cool and very surprising. All right, that was one heck of a cool experience. I got to give it to Rafi at RC Florida Tuning. He knows how to talk and converse, so let's check out this tune. The pedal commander is completely turned off. Wow, and I could already tell in the throttle response that it has similarities to the feel of the pedal commander. However, I can already tell dramatically that the transmission shift points have changed, and that was my main goal for getting this tune. Oh yeah, you hear how it's kind of staying up to speed? Super smooth. Yeah, I'm really starting to see why people get these tunes, especially for the shifting. The horsepower, you know, if you're buying a Tacoma, it's always said that you're not looking for horsepower, looking to get a very reliable truck that never ever will break down on you. Like I said, this is the third Tacoma that I've had. This by far has been one of the best vehicles I've ever purchased throughout my lifetime. Okay, so when you put it into the S mode, and when you are in first gear at a stoplight, it has legit taken away any of the red line precautions that anybody has ever noticed before when you have a stock tune. So that tells me I actually have control over my transmission when I want to do the shifts. And this is brand new since the OTT tune. So however, be very careful with that, because with all the different mapping and the fuel learning process that the actual ECU will do now, you might overstress your engine, and you know what happens when you overstress an engine. There's the example. One of the biggest takeaways from this tune is I now have more control over my truck, which this day and age, we all know if you own an iPhone, if you own anything that is connected via Bluetooth, I mean, companies have very tight control over what's happening with their products. So therefore, the consumer isn't exactly as free as they used to be. But now, with this tune, I feel like I am in more of the driver's seat of my truck. Now, one thing, there is some claims that your gas mileage increases. I'm gonna go ahead and see, I'll start, maybe I could do an update to this video talking about if I've seen an increase in gas mileage. In all honesty, I haven't seen much. But then again, I think I'm on my 5th mile of this tune, but I definitely plan on documenting it. So I took the truck home a different route than I did to get to the rest area, and I knew that there were going to be a couple hills and some nice areas where I could set the cruise control. And in a few miles, I have already seen a tremendous difference on how my truck drives. Thank you so much, RC Tuning, Mr. Ralphie. I really appreciate it. It was a totally great experience. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Bye-bye. But I got plans for this. Stick around for another video. See ya.